All right, Randy Rocky, Swan Financial, Russell, devastated. Here's the story. In this email, he says he sold his home and bought a new one. He told his mortgage company, by the way, this is not Swan, so just so you know, told his mortgage company he did not want to pay a mortgage payment that was more than what he was paying for his old home. So that's a key point here. So he wanted to stay with the same mortgage payment. So he makes that request. It appears the mortgage company kept the payments lower by eliminating payment of taxes and insurance and escrowing those. Now, fast forward, Russell receives a letter from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department saying that he owes back taxes and an additional $4,000 in tax penalties for not having paid his taxes. And Chuck, you may want to jump on this one as well. Russell said he was never told that he was not escrowing his taxes, and he's wondering who's at fault. Should the closing attorney have brought up the escrow of taxes and insurance at the closing table? Is the mortgage company responsible for not letting him know that escrow was eliminated? He's trying to appeal to the sheriff's department to get the $4,000 in penalties waived, but so far he's been told. So who's at fault? Where are the problems?
Yeah, well, he signed documents as saying he was escrow waiving. The problem is, and it is a major problem, is how many loan officers out there are, for example, Louisville, Kentucky, Jefferson County is 1.25% on taxes. So on 300,000, you're going to pay about $3,750 a year. They're putting in a lot of loan officers 0.7%. So now all of a sudden they're acting like it's going to be $2,500. And then homeowners insurance, they might put in $100 when it's $200 or $250. This is a real problem. So taking out the escrow scenario, and then all of a sudden they get a payment that they think is going to be great, and then they show up to Chuck's place or right before it, and their payment's $300-$400 higher, or 200 or whatever it might be, and they're like, look, I'm not budgeted for this, and it's terrible. I mean, it's such a problem because people business is a little slower and people are doing things they shouldn't do. Now, I want to make that very clear. It's not all loan officers, but I see it happen more than I should. And in this situation, he had to see on the documents. I would think, Chuck.
Is there a document?
Yeah. There's more than one document.
Yes.
On the origination side, imagine you're going to get 3-4 different documents at least. You're going to get good faith estimates that clearly show that sort of thing. In a closing, there will be generally 2 to 3 different documents relating to escrows. There'll be a big, says right at the top, waiver of escrows. So you really kind of have to not be paying a whole lot of attention to miss that kind of thing. Because it's not just the documents that say you're not doing it. The settlement statement shows you haven't collected it. The CD right on the front, there's a big box that shows where escrows go, and it indicates if there are no escrows. So, that's kind of, you got to really be disengaged not to see that. The other thing is the sheriff is going to be sending out several notices. You're going to get the tax bill. It's going to come to you. I know when going over a settlement statement in my office, when we do the escrowing portion, I always say, now what this means is when that tax bill comes out, it's all yours, but you have an escrow account, blah, 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 or since you don't have an escrow account, the whole bill is yours. So it's something that's discussed, but there would have been, one main notice that would have come out, probably 2 additional notices saying, hey, it's delinquent, and the fees rack up. I mean, it's 2% in discount in November, face amount in December, an additional 2% penalty in January, and another 8% in February. And then when it flips over, you're gonna be running up another quarter of the bill on top by the time it runs delinquent. And there's notices that keep coming out all the way to delinquency, which is typically April, May, in that neck of the woods.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're saying that our listener may have overlooked something.
Yeah, you've got to really not be paying attention.
I agree.
And as to getting the sheriff to waive anything, I used to represent him in the collection of taxes, and the common thing to say is, hey, there's only 2 things that are certain in life: death and taxes. And if you don't have a tax bill, you need to pay it.
Oh boy! All right. Well, we wish you the very best on that. It doesn't sound like you're going to have much room to argue. Yeah. A reminder, I've told you in the past, we're really proud of our reviews because that really tells us the tale of whether you're doing your job or not. If you'd like to see what our reviews are, you can go to LouisvilleZillow.com or LouisvilleGoogle.com, where our reviews are, and you'll read about what people say about our sellers and buyers are saying about us.